Good morning, students. Am I audible?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. So, students, in last lab, I think you have studied some concept of loops, and after that, now we are after 2 weeks, and this is the last lab. So, in this lab, basically, we are going to first of all start with function. How many types of function are there? Then we'll study about recursion and all that. Okay. Uh, so uh, what is function? Okay, so till now you have used so many function, like you have used printf function, scanf function, main function is there. So now I think all of you can understand that what is the purpose of function. Okay, the purpose of function is basically to particularly doing one task, like printf function is basically for printing anything in the screen, or if we are using the scanf function, then basically we are using this function for taking any input from the keyboard, like that. Okay, so till now you have used only the library function, like printf, scanf, power, square root. So these functions are already in our C library. Okay, but also there are some user defined function. So basically function have two types. One is predefined, which we already are using, and one is user defined. So what is user defined function? User defined functions are basically those function which is created by the user according to their use. Means you are the user, so according to use we can create our own function. Now what is the benefit of it? Like as you see that if printf function is there in the library function, so what we can do, we can call it from anywhere. Okay, anywhere in our program or in any program. So like that, if you create one function by yourself, then you can call this function from anywhere in your program. So it is beneficial. Like for example, just think that you want to find out the sum of any number. Okay, any two number or three number, but the values are different each and every time in a program. For example, you have to calculate the sum for 5 times. So what you can do, rather than writing the code for 5 times, you can simply create a function and call it multiple number of times. Okay, so just wait, I'm sharing my screen, and I just give you some idea how to write user defined functions. So is my screen is visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so see, we can create 4 type of user defined function. Okay, so let's see what are they. With arguments and with return type. Without arguments and without return type. With arguments and without return type, and without arguments and with return type. So these are the 4 type of function. Now all of you know what is the meaning of return type. Okay, like in any program, always we are writing na return 0. So basically we are returning any value. So this is the value which is returned. So this is the integer value, so that we can write or we can say that yes, main function is returning any positive value. But this is not the case. Actually, what is the case? Meaning of return 0 is that yes, the function is true. But whenever we are going to write any user defined function, we can return like return sum, return difference, return the name of the value which you want to print. So this is known as return type. And what are the arguments? So first of all, let's start with an example so that you can understand. So with arguments and with return type, without arguments and without return type, with arguments and without return type, and without arguments and with return type. Okay, so let's start. First of all, we are going to see this with arguments and with return type. Okay, so with arguments and with return type. So how to write it? So we know in main, so we are writing a very simple program to finding out the sum of two numbers. Okay, so int n1 comma int n2 and sum. Before that, I just tell you something that any function or any user-defined function had three things. Okay, first one is, you can say, declaration, and definition, and you can say accessing. Any function have these three things. Declaration means, first of all, we have to declare the prototype, or you can say the structure of the function. Then definition means where we are writing the whole code, and accessing. Accessing means, or you can say calling. Okay, in generic term, you can say calling. Calling function means we are calling the function. So let's see how to write. First of all, I am writing the code of sum in the main part. So int n1 n2 sum and scanf. Sum. So add numbers n1 comma n2. So this part is known as calling. Here I am writing the calling the function. So here in sum, what I am doing? I am calling the function whose name is add numbers. Okay. So this is the calling part. Then again, we have to print the value. So sum is sum. Return 0. Okay. Now we have to first of all declare the function of add numbers. So this program is with arguments and with return type. So if it is a with return type, then what we have to write? Integer. Because which value it is going to return? Integer value. For example, because we are taking here integer, so this is returning an integer value. So integer add numbers, you have to write the same way. Okay, the name of the function should be same, add numbers, and int a comma int b. So this is what? This is declaration. Here you've seen, here we want to declare. So this is the just declaration. So we are declaring the prototype of the function that it will return any integer value, and these are the arguments. Arguments means here we are basically finding out the sum of two numbers. So we are passing two value with its proper data type. So int a comma int b. Now declaration is done, calling is done. Now we have to write the definition of the function. So int add numbers in B. So this is what, this is definition. Okay, so now we are going to write our actual code in this. So int result equal to A plus B and return result. Now in definition, what we did, we are just writing the code of finding out the summation. So int result equal to A plus B because arguments are passing, and return result. So let's check. Enter two numbers, 7, 8, press enter. Sum is 15. Okay. So this is a what type of function? With arguments and with return type. So it's clear to everyone. This is the declaration, this is the definition, and this is the calling. Now all of you know now that program starts with the main. So whenever it will start from the main part, first of all, it will print in the screen, enter two numbers. Okay. Then by scanf, it will take the two numbers. Then in some part, what it will do? It will call the function. So when it is called, the program will come to this part. And in this part, it will find out result equal to A plus B. Means to find out the sum. Then it will return the result. So it will return its answer to here. Then printf sum. Okay. Then return 0. So this is the whole concept. Okay. Now this is function with argument and with return type. Now so function with arguments and with return type. So this thing is complete. Now what we are going to see, without arguments and without return type. So let's start without arguments and without return type. So here we are just making some changes, as it is telling that it is without return type. Means here it can't be integer. It will be what? It will be void, because it will not return any value. Also without arguments. So if it is without arguments, then we can simply write as void. So this is the declaration, means without argument and without return type. Now come to this main part. In main part, we don't have to write these things. Simply we have to call the function add numbers. Now what is the reason? Because this function will not return any value, as well as does not have any arguments. Means now we have to calculate all the things in the function itself, as well as we have to print the whole thing. That's why in the main part, we just simply call the function, so that all the operation can take place in the function. So this is the what? This is the calling. Just calling of the function, and then we are going to write the definition. So same thing. This will be what? Void, because without return type, and same here we have to write void. Okay. Now we have to take two values. So int a comma b comma result. Now enter two numbers. Now scanf, send b for send b. Okay. Now result equal to a plus b. Now we don't have to return anything, so just erase this line, and then what we have to write? means we have to just printf. So printf sum is comma result. See, enter two numbers. The sum is 15. Okay. So this is another way of writing any user-defined function. So here you see that all the things you have to write in the user-defined function itself. Okay. So this is without arguments and without return type. So this thing is also done. Okay. Now with argument and without return type means the third one, with arguments and without return type. So as it is saying that with arguments and without return type, so what we have, this is the, what will we do? This is int, because it without, so this is void and this is a integer a comma b. So a comma b. So enter two numbers 7, 8, 15. So this is without arguments and with return type. Okay. So here basically we are not passing any arguments, so void, and with return type because we are passing the result. So this is the fourth method, means without arguments and with return type. Now, if you want with arguments and without return type, then also you can do it. So you can try it by yourself. Now there is also another thing in function. This is known as recursion. So now what is the recursion actually? So recursion is basically the concept of C programming, which basically calls itself. Means recursion is one type of function which basically calls itself because there are certain situations where one function needs to call itself for different reasons. Like if you want to find out the factorial of any number. So what is the factorial of any number? So if you want to find out the factorial of 3, so 3 into 2 into 1. Or if you want to print the Fibonacci series. So the Fibonacci series of 0 is 0, Fibonacci series of 1 is 1, and Fibonacci series of 2 is what? Or Fibonacci series of 2 is the summation of previous two values. So 0 plus 1. Same way, the Fibonacci series of 3 is the summation of previous two values, means 1 plus 2. So in that cases, you can use recursion. Okay. So there are some benefits. Let's see. So basically, we are going to write any simple program to print the Fibonacci series, okay, of any number. So int main, here we are taking one integer value as I because we want to print the Fibonacci series up to one value. Okay, so you can write any loop. Okay, means we want to print from 0 to 10. Means 9, less than 10. Okay, then printf Fibonacci I. Printf means we are going to print the Fibonacci series, and so here we are calling the function. So this is a user-defined function which we are going to write, okay, and return 0. So Fibonacci is the I. Now we are going to write a user-defined function whose name is Fibonacci with return type and with argument. Now, if I equals to 0, means if the value of I is 0, so we know that the Fibonacci series of 0 is 0. So we can simply write if I equal to 0, return 0. Okay. Also we know if I equals to 1, then also we know that it will be always 1. So we can simply write return 1. Else, okay, if both the condition is not true, means if neither is 0 nor 1, then what we have to return? Return Fibonacci I minus 1 plus Fibonacci I minus 2. For 0 it is 0, for 1 it is 1. For 2, what will happen? Both the conditions will be false, so it will come to this part. Then it will calculate Fibonacci 2 minus 1 plus Fibonacci 2 minus 2. So Fibonacci 2 minus 1 is 1 and Fibonacci 2 minus 2 is 0. So summation of 1 plus 0 is 0. So that the Fibonacci series of 2 is 1. Just see in the output. See, Fibonacci series of 0 is 0. Fibonacci series of 1 is 1. And for 2 is summation of previous two values. So 1. For 3 is summation of previous two values, like that. So in the same way, Fibonacci of number 3 is what? Return Fibonacci 3 minus 1 means Fibonacci of 2. Okay. So again, it will find out that there is nothing for 2. So again, it will come to this part and it will again calculate 2 minus 1 plus 2 minus 2. Okay. So like that, you can calculate. So here you can see that the function Fibonacci calling itself. Okay. So according to the input, means according here this is fixed, means we fix the condition that we will find the Fibonacci series up to 9. Okay, but if you want to print the Fibonacci series up to the user choice, then you can take from the user input also. So this is the concept. Just so according to the condition, you have to write the recursive function. Okay, now this is about function. Okay, 4 type of user defined function are there, and this is recursion. So in examination, you may we can ask you some question like write any user defined function. Also we can set the condition, right? So if the condition is not given, that you have to write the code with return type and without return type, like that, then you can write it as you wish. But if in question paper it is given, okay, that you have to write with this condition, then you have to maintain it. Okay, so as this is your last class, so there are some more topics to teach you. So before that, I just want to discuss something about your end semester practical examination. Your end semester practical examination is in next Monday. Okay, so what's the date? Let's see. Okay, 13th. Okay, 13th of Monday, most probably you will get your proper schedule. And till now, what we have informed that your examination will be have 2 categories or 2 parts. One is Viva and another one is your program execution. Okay, so this week, as you have some quizzes remaining, only 4 quizzes we have taken. Also, we are going to quizzes 2 quizzes this week. Okay, and some extra quizzes for those who missed any quizzes. So for all the student, it is mandatory that as this is the last chance. After that, because in the next week your end semester practical will start, and then we can't take your extra quizzes and all that. Okay, so in this week, whatever quizzes are going to we are going to take, just you give it, and those students who did not submit or those students who was unable to give any quizzes, okay, from 1 to 6, for them they will conduct an extra quizzes. So don't miss also that extra quiz, okay, because after that no excuses will be listened by us, because there will be no timing left. And for your end semester practical examination, viva will happen. So for viva, up to how much covered in lab, this is your syllabus, so we can ask any question to anyone related to your topic. And for programming also, up to the syllabus, there will be question will be asked, maybe most of 3 questions maybe will be there. So some time will be given to you, and in the time you have to do your work. Okay, so all the other information will be given. And yes, I think all of you now in second semester, so you know what are the rules and regulation. All of you have been ready with proper internet connection, and with your laptop or mobile phone, whatever is available with you, and with your iCard. Okay, because your response will be recorded. So if you will not show your iCard, then will not allow to give you the examination. So iCard will be with you, and will be called for viva in MS Team only. So in the duration of the lab examination, you have to connect it to the internet, so that whenever you will get a call, you can answer and give your viva. Okay. So there are some also other topics. So just take a break of 10 minutes. Okay. And after 10 minutes, I will start with array and string. Okay.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, on which date these quizzes will be conducted?
Most probably on Saturday and Sunday. You will be
Ma'am,
informed.
coming Saturday.
Yes, coming Saturday and coming Sunday. Because in Monday you have your end semester practical examination, so we have to complete all the things within this week only.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So again, I am going to start another new topic. Before that, just take a break for a few minutes. Okay. So all of you can now leave if you want. Also, you can stay. We'll again start our class from 10. Okay. Thank you.